I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to support the channel, please go check out the link in the description for some awesome TGS merch. Hey guys, welcome to TGS. Today we're going to be looking at this, the Eotech VUDU 5-25 by 50. So I'm not really into my overly tactical gear. In fact, generally everything I own is extremely simple. However, this really appealed to me, purely based on size. And as such, Thomas Drake sent one down for us to review. So I strapped it to a 250, went out, shot it, had a bit of fun. So let's talk through some of its main features. Well, the whole thing is hard black anodized, that's quite nice. So as much as I abused it a little bit, it hasn't marked up or anything like that. So it is built to be hard. Obviously anything in that tactical market, it kind of has to follow through with that feel. Starting at the back, you have the fast focus eye bell. You have zoom with throw lever, and the whole back actually rotates for your zoom. I've shot scopes like this, cheaper scopes like this, and they really didn't do anything for me. Whereas this is a fairly top-end scope. Actually, it's really well made. Those little nails can just help just to quickly push it round, and the throw lever, if you want to be really precise, is there and comes with it. It does obviously unscrew, so you can run streamline if you want. It's all attached to a very compact 34mm tube, illuminated reticle. So the illuminated reticle comes up with a center dot, and then comes up lit dots every 2 milliradians, which is all right. Really useless in the daytime, those little red dots. They are so small. The center dot's all right, but the others are just, it's clearly built for low light use. So don't use this and expect it to be glowing in your face. This is a nighttime feature, I would say, or a low light feature. It's not something you're gonna be using a lot. You have parallax focus on the side there, extremely smooth, but certainly very positive. Well, you'd expect it to be good. And again, it has that same knurled effect, so you can get a hold of it, and it's just nicely machined, isn't it? Which is kind of what you want. On the top, you have a ballistic turret. It is lockable, so you move it up and put it down to lock it. On the top here, you can actually unscrew this, pull that off, and return yourself to 0, which is quite nice. Hidden on the inside is your marker, so you put that down. And as you wind up, this turret will rise to tell you how many full revolutions you've done. Lovely feature, really simple, looks good, really easy to use. I liked that. What I like more than that is that you have a lockable windage, because it appeals to my simplicity. Again, this is back to 0 and you've got all the markings there, so you can use it as a ballistic turret if you need. However, you can also cover it up and forget it's there. Let me talk you through some of the disadvantages of this scope. The first being it's a 34mm compact scope, and as such you have limited mounting space. By comparison to some of the competition, you actually have quite a bit, but you just need to be aware that you're gonna have to search for the right mounts to saddle this to your gun, not just get any old thing off the shelf. So it might just be a little bit of a case of trial and error, or exercising a little bit of patience, which isn't the end of the world. Optical quality is also sacrificed in any compact scope tube. You know, you just don't get the same quality of image as you will for a longer one. And you get slightly more fuzzy eyeballs on this, I found as well. However, as long as your rifle's set up right, it wasn't a problem to mount it up and get in the same place, in the right place every time. However, you don't have that margin for error you have on some of the longer scopes. I'm not a huge guy for first focal plane, which this is. However, the reticle in this really lent itself to being nice to shoot. On a zoomed out on 5, it was actually pleasant enough, accurate enough, and where you've got a nice hole in the middle, you could put over what you wanted and pull the trigger and it would be a suitable close range scope. However, on the flip side, once you're fully zoomed in, that tiny hole in the middle becomes a tiny little micro dot and you can be pinpoint accurate. And then anywhere in between is a variety of those two things. It's a really good combination. That is probably the thing I liked most about this, was that first focal plane reticle. I don't want to say I'm a convert, but I really liked this one. There are other reticles available, however, this is the MD3 and this is probably one to go for. All the others seem a little bit complex, not that I've looked through them, but again, it's all about simplicity. There will be someone out there who absolutely love that, but that's not me. So technical specifications, 11.2 inches long. The whole point of compact tactical is A, to cut size, cut weight, and if you're going to put add-ons onto the front, which is becoming increasingly popular, whether that be thermal or night vision, actually, it's kind of nice to be able to not have to come off the rifle, reach around and play. It's all in a much smaller package by the time you've added an add-on on. It is, I believe, just over 800 grams, so it's not obscenely heavy. You know, some of its full-length counterparts are over 1 kilo, which is, well, it's a lot. You know, this scope would be as happy at home on a range rifle, a stalking rifle, a foxing rifle, and that versatility is actually quite rare. It is quite rare. This scope offers a exit pupil of 5.5 all the way down to 2.1 millimeters, so it's as happy at low light as anything else. And we did take this out of an evening and have a little play with it, and actually it held up against things of its spec, as you'd expect. One of the other things I noticed by comparison to some of the scopes that I use more regularly is that the actual field of view was smaller. It was smaller than what you might expect in some others, but again, it's the caveats of having all of this in one package is you're never going to get all of the things you get in a bigger scope. And I've said that 2 or 3 times, and that's because that's really important to understand, that there is disadvantages to having this as well as advantages. So how much is this Japanese beauty? Well, it's £2,199 at full retail. However, I'm sure, as always, if you shop around, you will find a bit of a bargain out there. It feels substantial. It looks really good. And for somebody who probably does a mixture of range work, long range, short range, and stalking, this does fit the bill for all of those. And I don't think you're ever going to feel too wanting across the board. Definitely worth a look, guys. Guys, take care. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.